And Congressman Ed Royce is leading a congressional delegation to Ukraine. He joins me now by phone from Kiev. Welcome, Congressman.
Well, thank you. It's good to be with you.
Oh, it's great to have you with us. You just returned from a trip to eastern Ukraine, the site of heightened tensions between pro-Russian forces and Ukrainian loyalists. You met with the governor there. What's the mood like?
Well, it was interesting because we made a point of trying to meet with all the Russian-speaking minorities and religious minorities in the region. And the feedback we got was that this was being manufactured by Russia. We'd bring up different points and people would smile and say, no, that's Russian propaganda. That, in fact, what they were finding were Russian special forces sort of disguised, going around trying to whip up trouble. But the local there, we met with leaders, for example, in the Jewish community and in other minority communities, and they all were of the same opinion, which was they're looking forward to the election on May 25th and want independence for Ukraine from Russia.
Well, on the subject of that election, Joe Biden said this morning that the United States will provide substantial assistance for that presidential election. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it means about 2,000 election observers, and that's from the U.S. side, but Europe will be heavily engaged there as well with their observer teams. It also means money in order to try to train the Ukrainians in terms of how to conduct this vast election. I frankly think, returning from the East, you're going to see a big turnout from some of these areas. I know the Russians will attempt to disrupt the election, but security is certainly a concern. So you'll also see some funding for election security out of that.
Well, and of course, Russia is not backing down, and the rhetoric is heating up even here in the United States. In fact, Senator John McCain was on Late Night with Seth Meyers. He slammed Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Listen.
Russia is a gas station masquerading as a country. All he's got is gas and oil, and that's really all that is sustaining them. Wait, I take that back. It's a gas station run by a mafia that is masquerading as a gas station.
Because originally I thought it was a little rough.
Yeah,
glad you softened it.
Of course, Russia exports natural gas to Ukraine. Ukraine pays Russia for those resources. Do you agree with Senator McCain?
Well, 70% of the Russian exports are oil and gas, and it's 52% of the budget for their military and their government. So the prime support system for Putin right now is the monopoly they have, principally in Eastern Europe, on oil and gas. So if we were to export gas into this region, and that has been part of our discussions here with Ukrainians, we were over in Azerbaijan. They're building a pipeline into Europe. Certainly could send gas from Louisiana. We have excess capacity there, an LNG facility. There's a lot we can do to help. 50% of the gas needs of Ukraine could be met. In my conversation with the vice president, he said if they were developing shale gas here. So I'm sure we're going to be involved in transmitting to them that type of capability, engineering-wise. So, as we go forward, there are a lot of ways to put pressure on Russia, because if you eliminate their monopoly in Eastern Europe on gas, that hits their bottom line. That hits their stock market, the value of their currency. So this is one of the ways to push back.
Congressman Ed Royce, thank you so much for joining us live from Kiev this morning. We appreciate it.